Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, we know what happens without you guys, so I don't need to even say it. Guys, we are 66 days, 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 4 seconds away from kickoff against the Carolina Panthers. And let's get open for business. You know, it's kind of funny to me. I'm just Joe the fan, just like you guys, man. And I go through and I make my predictions. I talk about things that I think they're going to happen and all that. And a lot of times I'm told you're an idiot or you're just a hater, because that's not what you said about the Cowboys last year. And I've been talking about who wins the division. And you guys know I've been talking about this because Lord knows you trolls have told me I'm an idiot and just a hater. I was the one that told you guys, I said, listen, the NFC East is crazy because since 2003, 2004, there has not been a repeat champion. And more times than not, it's the team that's in the basement that goes from worst to first. And on average, the team that wins the division drops back by 3.4 games in their record the next year. Those are facts. That's from my research. That's not something I'm just making up and saying because I'm a hater. Yes, I hate the Eagles. I hate the Redskins, and I hate the Giants. I want to go ahead and see my Cowboys win every year and go to the Super Bowl. But I'm giving you legitimate numbers. And I said the same thing last year when the Cowboys had won. It's hard to repeat in the NFC East. It's just damn near impossible. I said maybe we shouldn't fear the Eagles. Maybe we should fear the Giants because the Eagles last year, worst to first. The year before, Cowboys, we went worst to first. It's just kind of the way it is. That's not to say that I think the Giants are going to win this year because I think the Giants have more problems than you can shake a stick at. I still think their offensive line, even with Will Hernandez and Soldier, still has a long ways to go. I think Eli Manning is a shell of himself. He, yes, was a two-time Super Bowl MVP, but what have you done for me lately? But it's funny because ESPN today ended up doing um, NFC East who will win segment. And thought I got it right on here. There we go. And it was interesting because they literally brought out exactly what I have been saying. Sometimes I wonder, are they listening to me and getting subjects? Because I know Stephen A. Smith, I know you guys, when you did that contest, and I sent in those videos, I know two of those ideas directly you guys use verbatim. But it's funny because this is exactly what I talked about. But let's listen to what ESPN has to say about who will win the NFC East.
14 of the last 15 seasons, a team climbs all the way from the basement to the top of the division. Last year, it was both the Jags and Eagles that went from worst to first. So this week, we're going to find the teams that will be going from worst to first this season. And how about this? No division has had more teams go from worst to first in recent memory than the NFC East. Let's take a look at this, right? So 5 of the previous 6 NFC East champs won the division after finishing in last place the season before. The Giants, of course, are hoping to continue that trend in 2018. So it is up to us to figure out who is it going to be this year. So, Damian, Dan, you guys are going to be the ones to help decide it. So the total here is going to be 100%. We're going to go through each team. You're going to give me what the percentage chance is of them winning the division. So we know the Giants were in last place at the end of last season. So beginning with you, D, what are the chances that the Giants win?
So I think the NFC East, I think it's going to be the most competitive division in football. Not the best, but most competitive. I have the Giants at 18%. I know people talk about the piece of, Saquon Barkley, who just a fantastic, talent coming into the National Football League. He's going to do a lot for that running game. Will Hernandez, who they drafted in the second round. Nate Solder, who they got for New England to play left tackle. They've made strides up front and in the running game to really get back to that old Giants brand of running the football. However, can say that they might have the worst QB in the division.
You heard that, didn't you, stinking Giants fan?
You think Eli Manning is the worst quarterback?
We're not talking legacy here. We're not talking legacy.
We're talking 2018.
We're talking 2018 right now. 2018.
As you can see, I totally disagree with you.
He's got Pat Shurmur now as his head coach. You got to figure. You see what he did in Minnesota with Case Keenum. He helped develop him out there, and
that's all
had a
fine and dandy.
great season.
That's all fine and dandy, Diana.
I want to know about this guy. I want to know if Odell Beckham's going to be in camp and happy with a new contract. But fundamentally, the Giants were 4 games out of third place and 10 games out of first, and I just don't see why any of these 3 teams in front of them are particularly worse than they were last year. I think it's a hard mountain for the Giants to climb.
All right. Well, I actually want to keep talking about these quarterbacks here because we're to go hard on this with you saying that you think that Eli is the worst. Well, do you think he's better than this guy? Because Alex Smith is now a Washington Redskin quarterback. Of course, he was traded there to Washington, and this resulted in Cousins leaving.
Are quarterback killers.
He, of course, left the organization to join the Vikings, and in April's draft, the Redskins took a defensive tackle with their first-round pick. So here we are. Redskins finished the season last year at 7-9. What are the chances, Damian, that they win this division?
I'll go 22%. They've upgraded, in my opinion, at the quarterback position.
You think Alex Smith is better than Kirk Cousins?
Yes, absolutely.
That matters. Still in the Redskins territory.
That's right. I think Alex Smith is an upgrade over Kirk Cousins. Darius Geis coming in at running back, I think it will give some juice in the running game. I've always loved their offensive line coach, Bill Callahan. Defensively, I think they'll be better. So I like the Redskins where they're at right now.
Huh?
We've been spending too much time together, you and me. We're thinking along the same lines here. I think Washington should have been a better team last year than they were. The injuries were unbelievable, especially along that offensive line where they were totally shredded by the end of the year. Running back, they were down to 4th and 5th string guys. I think they have a chance. I think the 2 teams in front of them are very good or project to be very good, or else I'd put their number a little higher. But I think this is a very difficult division, and they shouldn't be a bad team.
While your numbers aren't too far off here, do you think the Redskins are significantly better than the Giants or just marginally better than the Giants?
No, I think like marginally better than the Giants. Marginally better.
All that Eli hate you got going on today.
You're mad at me. I'm just calling it.
How about them Cowboys? Let's see what they got.
How about the Dallas Cowboys missing the playoffs with a 9-7 record last season? Of course, Dallas said goodbye to apparent longtime Cowboys. Des Bryant was cut. Jason Witten announced his retirement. He's one of our colleagues now. And in an effort to give Dak some weapons here, they signed Allen Hurns and Tavon Austin. So the Cowboys here, what are the chances, Damian?
Here we go.
That Dak is going to come back and have a good third year. Of course, Zeke back in there. But what do you think the chances here that they win this division?
25%. You already hit it on it, right? Get Zeke back for 16. You know what Zeke does to the Dallas Cowboys?
What?
A lot. You had him for the whole slate. Dallas offensive line, one of the best. You can argue that they might have the best offensive line in football. They want to play ball control, time of possession, which is going to keep their defense fresh. We've seen what happens when they keep their defense fresh. From 2 years ago, they were a top 10 defense. So that's the formula.
Last year they were
and that
top 10
formula right there,
defense,
you can pack it up, take it anywhere, and be successful.
Do you think Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Eli Manning?
Right now? Yep.
Take that,
I
stinking
don't
Giant
agree
fan.
with that, but even though I like Dak Prescott, but again, I'm pretty close to agreeing with Damian. It almost feels like somebody got somebody's list and just made some minor changes. I don't know who that would have been. Who did it first?
You did.
First. I did?
You did.
You did it first.
Is it copying off my paper?
All right,
Cowboys
so
were 9-7 last year. That was their bad year. That makes them a scary team.
that's enough for you?
If you're 9-7,
if you're 9-7, that's a bad year.
In your down year, where your best player has to miss 6 games because of a suspension,
You're all right.
makes
You're
you
doing
scary.
something right.
You're okay.
All right, let's go with the Super Bowl champs. Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, so we know the big story here is going to be that
35.
quarterback spot, right? Because the health of Carson Wentz recovering that torn ACL. Well, Wentz and the Eagles are hoping that he can be ready for the season opener. That's going to be against Atlanta. And of course, they made some notable moves, including the trade of Michael Bennett and losing LeGarrette Blount to the Lions in free agency. So what are the chances, D, that you think that Philly is going to win it again?
35%.
35%. So you're thinking no division hangover, no Super Bowl hangover?
Could happen, but listen, defensively, I think they got better. They can literally rotate waves of guys to get out the quarterback. Not many teams in the league can do what the Philadelphia Eagles can do defensively. Offensively, they got one of the best offensive lines. They got a quarterback situation that a lot of teams probably envy to have.
Oh, yeah.
So right now, going into it, Philly's the team to beat in the division.
All right, Dan, what do you got?
Well, I agree. I mean, the problem is no one's won this division 2 years in a row since the Eagles did it 18 years ago, right? So I'm sorry, 14 years
14,
ago.
yep.
2003, 2004. Get
so
the numbers
this is
right.
high praise to pick them to repeat because that's a very, very difficult thing to do in the NFC East. There's just nothing not to like. I mean, if you believe that Nick Foles can do what he did in the playoff run, then you're not worried about Carson Wentz maybe not being ready to start the season. And also, by the way, Wentz apparently looks fantastic, and there's a chance he might be able to do it. So we'll see. I mean, look, teams that win the Super Bowl have a lot of things go right for them, and you can't always assume that the same things will go right the following year. That's why these predictions are fairly
They're predictions.
You guys had it close.
But yeah, we see this as a tough division.
Well, so it's kind of funny that I've been talking about that 2003-2004 season being the last time somebody has repeated in the NFC East. It's just difficult because, one, when you're in the basement, you get a little bit easier schedule. You get a higher draft picks. You've got more time to rest as far as the off season because basically 3-4 games before the end of the season, you're kind of packing it in, taking it easy. You're resting guys and letting them heal early. Hence, like we did with Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith didn't play the last game of the season. He was beginning his rehab. You get higher draft picks. So all these things help you when you're a bad team. As well as people don't take you seriously. Unlike the team that wins the division. You're going to get everybody's A game, especially if you won the Super Bowl. Because if you're not a great team and you knock off the Super Bowl champion, you're making your season. Hence, it is much, much harder to repeat as division champions. It's not that I'm trying to be hate. I mean, I do hate the Eagles, but I'm not just trying to hate and just say, oh, screw that. I'm going by statistics that have been true for the last 14 years. Nobody has repeated in the NFC East. And I look for that trend to continue. I'd like to see your guys' thoughts on that. I guarantee I will get plenty of hate from Giants, Eagles, as well as Redskins fans, but that's okay because, hell, that's all I seem to get is hate from so many different fans. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu, and I will see you guys later.